Thank you. Board Member for Manly.
Speaker, my question is directed to the Minister for Tourism, Veterans Affairs. Good job, James. The update Council progress the Veterans Employment Program.
Thank you. Minister has the four members are warned they'll be out until tomorrow, and they won't come up to me later and ask if they can creep back in. They'll be out.
Madam Speaker, I'm delighted to receive a question about veterans' welfare in this place, because when the member for Fairfield was the Shadow Minister for Veterans for 2 years, he did not ask me one question about veterans' welfare. Not one question about veterans' welfare. But, Madam Speaker, the member for Manly, of course, has got great credibility in this portfolio. His father, of course, was a long-standing member of the Australian Army and was a decorated brigadier. His mother was the first female commandant of Victoria Barracks, because, of course, those on our side of the House are very keen to ensure that we celebrate the successes of our women. Madam Speaker, the member for Manly's brother-in-law, Lance Corporal Archer, was deployed to Afghanistan in 2012, so he has every bit of credibility to stand up and ask in this chamber the details of the veterans' employment schedule. This is what we call the Jobs for Diggers policy. Jobs for Diggers policy. Madam Speaker, changing careers is, of course, a very, very difficult thing for most people. Madam Speaker, almost 1,500 men and women discharged from the Australian Defence Force in New South Wales each year. This represents a highly trained and work-ready resource pool. In March 2015, Madam Speaker, the government made a commitment to establish a program to help 200 veterans in New South Wales find suitable, sustainable and meaningful employment by 2019. Madam Speaker, this program was the first of its kind in Australia and is being repeated by Labor states as well as coalition states. And I'm delighted to report to the House, Madam Speaker, that even though the target was 200, the Veterans Employment Program has so far assisted 486 former ADF personnel find jobs, smashing the target by 140%. So after the member for Prospect is removed by Chris Bowen, he too can find a job here in New South Wales. Madam Speaker, the majority of these hires, of course, have been in the justice and transport clusters, and many former personnel are working in health, education, finance and other sectors. We're incredibly proud of this program, Madam Speaker, which is, as I mentioned, is the first of its kind and supports contemporary veterans. Well, we've done a lot. I acknowledge the interjection from the member for Bankstown. The actual Minister for Health, when he was Minister Canterbury, the Minister for Health, when he was Minister responsible for housing, gave veterans $1 million to prioritise veterans housing, and so far we've only used about 400,000. So, Madam Speaker, I think the Minister for Health should be congratulated instead of criticising what this government's doing for veterans, actually gets behind the program. This is a great tool for employers who can reap benefits of having uniquely skilled workers. Former Army General Garth Callender, who served multiple tours in Iraq and Afghanistan, is managing the rollout of the program, and I draw the House's attention to 39-year-old veteran Simon Petley, who, with a 20-year career in the Australian Army that included 3 deployments to East Timor, then to Iraq and Afghanistan, rose to the rank of warrant officer, was decorated as a contemporary veteran, and has been in his service, of course, came at great personal cost. But Simon was in Afghanistan when his first child was born, and his family moved houses several times before his child started school. Through the Veterans Employment Program, Simon has found a job as a Logistics Support Officer for Safe Work New South Wales. And to quote Simon, he said, "People don't understand qualifications they gain in defence. The skills that a lot of soldiers have are managed of personnel, resource management, and they don't know how to employers." Madam Speaker, a key element of Veterans Employment Program is an education campaign to help New South Wales employers understand the skills for this workplace. The web portal assists veterans locating public sector roles aligned with military rank. Madam Speaker, in addition, the New South Wales Government is investing in a mentoring program which pairs returned servicemen and women with military personnel with young offenders. Every family knows a person who is a bit of a tearaway, and now we can make their lives different. Veterans have discipline, resilience and dedication. It makes them perfect mentors, and as Minister for Veterans Affairs and Minister for Corrections, I'm tremendously proud of this program, which is providing positive role models for young people who are helping to reduce the risk of reoffending. Madam Speaker, I recently congratulated James Brown, the newly elected President of the RSL. James is a decorated veteran who served as an Armed Corps officer in Afghanistan and Iraq. He received many medals, honestly, for his service.
Thank you. 2 minutes is great.
For his service as Deputy Chief of Joint Operations, including the Deputy Chief of Joint Operations Commendation, the Australian Active Service Medal and the ICAP clasp. He's a Research Director of the United States Study Centre in the University of Sydney. He's a fantastic contemporary veteran, and it's heartbreaking for him to have to take over the RSL at a time when its reputation has been trashed by allegations of financial mismanagement, and I'm confident that James will restore public confidence in this iconic organisation. There was overwhelming support for the government to intervene and establish this inquiry by Patricia Bergen, and I acknowledge the Minister for better regulation in this regard. As the Premier said this morning, those who have broken the law and the trust of the public are going to be held to account. Mr. Speaker, that is the only thing that this government is about, making sure people are held to account and, of course, restoring the trust of the public in the RSL. And, Madam Speaker, I might add it was the Shadow Minister of Veterans Affairs in the other place who actually opposed this inquiry. So I don't know what she was trying to protect, but the Shadow Minister in the other place actually calls for the government to not go ahead with this inquiry. So I don't know what she was trying to protect. Madam Speaker, today the Premier and I have announced called for history teachers to attend the Premier's Anzac Memorial Scholarship, and on the 21st of Thursday, the 21st of this month, high school students will take the government-funded trip to battlefields in Belgium and France and learn about the Anzac legacy. Madam Speaker, during the centenary of Anzac commemorations, it's fitting that the New South Wales Government honours not only the legacy of our veterans with scholarship tours and memorials, but as I've just outlined for the House, our commitment to veterans is beyond those things. It includes giving them real opportunities for employment. It includes making them make a contribution to society. It includes, for the member for Canterbury, giving them priority when it comes to homelessness, and I commend the work to the House.